I've worked in the corporate world for my entire adult life. That might sound like a long time, and maybe it is, but it's 7 years in case anyone is unclear. I started as a graduate, clueless, helpless, and barely able to keep my eyes open, and eventually ended up as a product and service designer. It took me 3 years to find the job I liked and then 4 more years to get half decent at it. Alongside getting good at my day job, I made content about it on the internet and made $10,000 a month. Let's talk about how. Finding the job you like. There is an art to finding the job you like. I mean, it's really quite difficult. I was 22, had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and had spent the last 3 years studying a degree I didn't really care about. I hadn't even thought about what would happen if I didn't like my job. Needless to say, I wasn't prepared for the world of work. I did, though, get to know pretty quickly that this corporate thing wasn't all it cracked up to be. I was desperate to get going to get out in the corporate world until I realized it was very serious, and then I wondered why I was so desperate to leave uni. Trying lots of things. Luckily, I was on a scheme where I could try lots of things. I made a point of exploring every area of the business so I could figure out which one was for me. I put my hand up for projects like to work with different people and made sure I was exploring my options. And then I found a team I really liked. They were moving fast, testing things, running experiments. It was business meets science, and I loved it, so I got a job in that team. I remember like it was yesterday getting that job. It was a glorious feeling. But it took 3 years to find that job. I nearly left 3 times. I hated my job on more than one occasion, and I'm sure at one point I was the most miserable I'd ever been in my life. It wasn't plain sailing. So if you're struggling, know that you're not alone. The shoe might fit perfectly in the movies, but in real life, you have to go out and find the shoe you want. Do, learn, teach. At 24, I had this new job, but I was the least experienced in the team. So I had to learn the job and learn it fast. So I bought every book I could. Went to every meeting that anyone would let me in on and absorbed everything. I mean everything. And the way I cemented my learning, I wrote about it. I would write about work meetings, the methodology, and how to influence people. Like most people will know, working in the corporate sector, a lot of any job is about convincing people that we should do something. I learned how to present, how to show not tell, and how to push for methodology to be followed. And I learned to extend the speed. And then after 3 years, I built a product. It took 3 years of writing content, of building my audience by writing on the internet every day. That's over 1,000 days of pushing out content, over 1,000 articles and endless tweets on the internet. Most months I'd make a few $100s for writing 2 hours every morning for 3 years, but I didn't care. It was making me better, so I kept going. After 3 years, I had an audience of over 80,000 people across different platforms, and I realized that I was in a position to make a product based on the methodology I use in my day job and the application to writing. So I built my website, www.thepartteamcreatorclub.com, and I got to work building my course. On the launch, I made $8,000 in a weekend and nearly lost my mind. I didn't understand how this could happen and how I got so lucky. After the incredible high, I realized I needed to get to work improving the product, so I upgraded the platform, got feedback, and added more lessons. It was a wild time of building and improving. That launch was in February. That, on top of Medium and a few other bits and bobs, makes me over $10,000 a month. And it all started with learning in my day job. How to use your day job. You can do this too. Figure out what you like talking about and what people say you are good at, and work on building your audience by telling them what you're learning. In 3 years, probably sooner, you'll be earning $10,000 a month. Get after it.